I had the opportunity to visit with the distinguished flutist, teacher, and one of North America's strongest links to the French school of flute performance and pedagogy, Mr. Robert Langevin, at the Cole Conservatory of Music in Long Beach, California. Our discussions focused on Flute Sonata No. 6, which was especially written for him in November 2009 and debuted at Gerald Daniel Recital Hall, March 20th, 2010. The sonata, subtitled the Toulouse Lautrec Sonata, became a musical dramatization based on 4 post-impressionistic circus prints, courtesy of the distinctive style of Toulouse Lautrec. Lautrec's immersion into the theatrical life of Paris yielded compositions of exciting, elegant, and provocative images of the modern and sometimes decadent life of those times. These magnificent drawings in colored paint are both sympathetic and dispassionate, and have helped establish his reputation as one of the greatest painters of the post-impressionistic period. The first movement serves to introduce our cast of circus characters, colorful, skillful, and energetic. The ensemble enters the big tent. A Japanese ballet dancer, our featured artist, emerges from the cast and moves toward the center of the ring. She takes a special bow in front of the audience before her acrobatic peers escort her from the main tent. Mr. Langevin talks about the contrast of character between the opening musical material of this movement and its middle section, which represents the painting's focus, the Japanese dancer.
So what's interesting in the first movement is the contrast of character between the first part of the piece and the middle section, which depicts the Japanese dancer. And the character is much more lyrical, much more delicate. So that requires a different type of articulation, much less marcato. You'll notice that in the first 3 or 4 pages, you have a lot of accents on most notes. Along with what the piano plays, the character is much heavier. And then when the Japanese dancer appears, to go along with her build, if you wish, much leaner in character, and for that matter in articulation. More lyrical playing and less heavy in character. I'll play from measure 80.
The second movement, the rope dancer, all eyes are cast at the circus performer on the tightrope. Rather than capture the physical aspects of the performer, I chose to focus on the artistry and beauty of the high-wire dancer. Mr. Langevin talks about the challenges of this movement, performing all the notes written, but making them sound calm and dreamy.
The challenge in the second movement is to manage to play all the notes that are written, but make them sound very calm, very dreamy, and really create the mood of the tightrope dancer. It should be something very delicate, very transparent, and impressionistic. Bar 3.
The third movement, Clown Trainer, portrays a small poodle looking up at a huge clown brandishing a whip. The dog is belittled by the brutal clown, its vulnerability heightened by the shaving of its fur, giving it a groomed and feminine air. The poodle's appearance, like the clown's, their androgynous disguises not only bind them together, but also fuel their conflict, seeming to be in competition for the same identity. Here the music contains 2 vocabularies, one delicate, whimsical, and kinetic for the poodle, the other raw, angry, and highly dissonant for the clown. Robert talks about the challenge in the ensemble between the flute and the piano.
The challenge of the third movement is the ensemble between the flute and the piano. It needs to be rhythmically very stable because at times the piano plays on the downbeats where the flute has a rest, and other times neither player plays on the downbeat and starts together on the second sixteenths. So both performers have to feel exactly the same pulse and be very steady in their rhythm.
The fourth and final movement, Work on the Panel, portrays a skilled performer, a lovely lady riding side saddle on a big horse. Intensely alive and fascinating, this image reproduces the riding exercises, showing extraordinary precision. Let's listen to Robert as he talks about the importance of articulation.
In the last movement, articulation can be something to work on. The flute writing is in a low to medium tessitura, and you want the sound to project, and at the same time with a very incisive articulation. So one needs to articulate very clearly on the 8 notes. A passage at bar 44 until 48 may be challenging. It really pushes the capability of the player's double tonguing to the limit. So this is something that you may need to work on. But in general, the whole movement requires a very clear, very precise tonguing that gives it this scherzando feel to it. And I'll play from bar 1. And then I'll play bar 44, the double tonguing.
I hope you enjoyed this video blog featuring my dear friend Robert Langevin, principal flutist for the New York Philharmonic. For those of you who wish to hear the debut performance of Flute Sonata No. 6 by Robert Langevin, simply go to caliendoworldmusic.com and use the search engine by title or by arrangement. You will be able to view the performance and view sheet music samples. For those of you who are interested in performing Flute Sonata No. 6, remember, as a member of the Tutti Academy, you will always receive one free world music publication from our catalog for every piece you purchase. It's our 2-for-1 forever sale. Simply go to caliendoworldmusic.com, order 2 publications, and you will be charged for 1. Your comments, suggestions, and ideas are very important to developing the Tutti Academy. Please feel free to email me your ideas at christopher@tuttiacademy.com or through the Academy's social media sites, Music Degree Revival, the Tutti Academy, Caliendo World Music Publishing. If you desire personal coaching or wish to book a free 45-minute consultation on some of the issues you are struggling with, you can go to tuttiacademy.com and click on this link to book a convenient time. My prayers and wishes for finding your identity and purpose with this beloved gift called music we are so blessed with.